Look, so this is a horror channel, right? True crime, facts, stuff like that. So let's talk a little bit of horror real quick, because I need to talk some horror with some people. All right, I don't know what era you from. I'm from the era where Tales from the Crypt hit, dog. And you ever went back and watched something and it was like, oh, this did not age good. Puppet Master did that for me. I used to love Puppet Master growing up. I tried rewatching it. Oh, that did not age good for me. I'm sorry, at least for me. But yo, I am binging Tales from the Crypt right now. So freaking good, dog. And I'm like, oh my gosh, every episode is still like so good to me. All right, no, we're not here about that. But check out 3 true scary stories that happened on FaceTime by MrNightmare. Want to check out the original video? Link will be in the description below. But let's go.
For a while, I was talking to this girl named Tori, and I really liked her a lot. Things didn't really work out in the end, but while we were talking, we'd talk like every night. Over the phone usually, sometimes FaceTime. This was last July. We were in the middle of an extreme heat wave. I was playing FIFA with my friend Carl when my phone started ringing. It was Tori, almost right on time. I had come to expect a call from her every night around 9. So I told Carl that we'd play the second half later, and to keep his console on, I picked up the phone and started chatting with Tori. She lives 20 minutes away from me, and it was a work night, so when she asked me to come over, I told her I wish I could, but I'd be down tomorrow. She told me how her parents had been gone all day, and she didn't know where they were. Her parents were an interesting couple. They weren't neglectful or anything, but they were very unconcerned. Like, they'd let Tori do whatever she wanted basically, and not really ask her where she was or what she was doing. Plus, they themselves would go out 3 nights a week to eat or hit bars or comedy clubs or whatever. And it wasn't uncommon that they'd be gone multiple nights in a row. This was one of those nights. We were just BSing over the phone, talking about how neither of us wanted to go to school or work the next day, and a bunch of other boring stuff. Then she said she was going to go cook some pasta and she'd call me when she's done. So during that time, I told Carl to hop back on FIFA and we resumed our game. By the time the game was over, I was expecting Tori to call back at any moment. She didn't though. Not for a while at least. I tried FaceTiming her after a while, and the first call didn't go through, so after 5 minutes I tried again, and she picked up. She was in her living room walking upstairs. As she picked up, she said she was confused, and I asked why. She said because the front door was open as she went down to the kitchen to make pasta, but her dad's car wasn't in the driveway, so her parents weren't back yet. She kept acting all worried and scared, joking that someone's in her house and gonna kill her.
Yeah, you playing
I would laugh and mess with her,
yeah,
saying
that shit ain't funny. If the front door was open, legit somebody might be in your crib. Goofy. My bad. I'm trying to get my camera, make sure it ain't out of focus. You know how my shit get.
Worried and scared, joking that someone's in her house and gonna kill her. I would laugh and mess with her, saying you're probably right, and she'd playfully tell me to stop. She got back to her room and was laying in her bed, and about a minute later, she remembered she left the pasta boiling for too long and she ran downstairs to the kitchen, leaving her phone behind. Her phone was left with the screen down and the camera facing the ceiling, so all I saw on the screen was her white ceiling and the colorful moving shapes and patterns from her little light projector. Then I heard Tori yelling angrily from downstairs, probably about her overcooked pasta. But along with that, there was a noise that seemed to come from inside of her room. I kept looking at the screen, curious now. My curiosity turned to horror when I saw a man's face appear in frame, but just for a second, and only like half his face. He looked directly at the camera, and I felt as though I made eye contact with him for a second. Then he disappeared again. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know her house phone number, and I couldn't scream for her to run, but with my TV in the background playing the FIFA main menu screen music, he surely knew someone was on the line with her. I was panicking, so without hanging up, I ran to get my house phone and called 911, telling them to get to Tori's address immediately because of a break-in, and that I couldn't talk long given the situation. I brought the phone to my room with me without hanging up and picked up my iPhone again. It was around the same time Tori came rushing back into her room with a bowl of pasta steaming hot. She was still talking in her calm, sweet, innocent voice, apologizing for being gone too long. I didn't know what to do. That man might have been in her room, in her closet, under her bed. I wanted to warn her, but I couldn't without the chance of her being attacked. I tried to stall until the police got there, and I had the police still on the phone, listening to my FaceTime call. I heard the 911 operator tell me to somehow get Tori to go outside. I was tasked with a seemingly impossible task without making it obvious. I knew if I tried to warn her in any way, she'd freak out.
My bad, this shit's so good. I'll be here like an old black lady. Girl. But no, peep though, because that's legit what I'm thinking. It's like you cannot panic, dog, because once the killer know, then boom, the killer gonna make the move because he gonna be like, fuck it. They already know I'm here. This should be hard. I legit don't know what I would do. Using these situations, I'd be thinking like, well, I do this, I do this, but I legit don't know. But him being calm though is hella smart though, because he playing it cool, got the boys on the other end, like, yeah, just talking normal. I know he's scared as hell. And she don't even know what's going on, sitting there eating that little nasty ass pasta. That's that shit in the bag, that 99-cent, that green bag. She ain't make nothing legit.
Possible task without making it obvious. I knew if I tried to warn her in any way, she'd freak out and make it obvious. So I told her calmly, go outside, Carl's outside in his car, he has your backpack. For the record, she left her backpack at my house, and I was pretending Carl was dropping it off. This worked. She got up, albeit slightly confused as to why he was dropping it off, but she put on her slides and went outside. This was when I yelled at her to run next door to her neighbors now, and that someone was in her house. She immediately freaked out and started crying, understandably. She pounded on her neighbor's door, who thank God answered quickly. I drove over there right away after that, and by then police were there and inside the house. Unfortunately, this story didn't have a totally happy ending. That intruder made his escape before police got there, likely wise to the fact that police were coming. We locked all her doors before going to sleep at my place that night. A month later, we stopped talking, because she found a better guy, I guess. You'd think after this, we'd have started dating the next week.
Stop playing with me, dog. I know she ain't friends on this nigga. Hold up, bro. Pete, and you know what's funny? Before the story was over, I was about to say somebody wrote this, because this is really good. I ain't gonna cap. This guy is good. He on his toes. Boom, boom, boom. He doing the right ish. And I'm not saying that's why it's fake, but I'm saying it's like, damn, usually when you hear these real ones, it's like you hear like these goofy ass moves. Whatever though. But then he get friend zone too. I'm thinking in my head, ain't no way in hell she can friend zone this dude. I get it though. If you ain't feeling somebody, it ain't gonna work. Sorry. But damn, even that still, I just saved your life. I went above and beyond too. I hate that word. They use it. Well, that phrase, they make you use that when you work at like tech centers a lot. Like, shut up. But he went above and beyond for the customer. I used to hate that shit. I'm hot. At that point, I'm calling the killer back. I'm hot. Hey, nigga, she at the crib. Stop playing so much for real,
found a better guy, I guess. You'd think after this, we'd have started dating the next week. That didn't happen. But recently, we've been friendly again, just not the same. But aside from that, it really is so disturbing thinking that he may have been under her bed or in her closet, listening to us. I wish I screenshotted his face when I had the chance.
It's good you didn't, though, because he probably would have heard something.
My best friend Casey and I usually go out together on the weekends. We're kind of inseparable most of the time. But there was this one weekend that I had COVID, and so I couldn't go out with her. She went out with our other friends Connie and Rachel. They went to this outdoor beachside bar that I'd wanted to go to but never had been. So I was obviously very upset and kind of jealous. Honestly, because of this, I was a little salty and not answering Casey that eagerly, or the other two for that matter. I went about my night watching stupid movies in my bed, sneezing all over the place and generally feeling like death. Eventually I picked up my phone and realized Connie and Rachel had blown up the group chat, asking Casey where she was, and then asking me if Casey had texted me at all. I went to check my text from Casey, but she hadn't sent anything besides her last text that I ignored, so I sent a, "Hey, you okay?" and it delivered. Phone was still on, that's good. The girls told me the last time they saw Casey was when she was with some guy at the bar, and that the next time they went back to where she was, they were gone. I told them to calm down, that she was probably still with the guy, though I would know more than anyone that it wouldn't be like Casey to leave with a guy without saying something, unless she was really, really drunk. I tried FaceTiming her, and someone picked up, but it wasn't Casey. It wasn't anybody, actually. It was just some dark room. Whoever picked it up was clearly hiding off camera. "Hello?" I asked. "Where's Casey?" I asked over and over until the call ended. I started spamming Casey's number, blowing up her phone asking where she is, who has her phone, etc. Then, to my surprise, I was getting a FaceTime call from her number. I picked up, and this time there was a man's whispering voice on the other end. He claimed Casey was fine, that she came home with him and now she was passed out in his bed. I asked him who he was, and he said they met at the bar. I tried to fact check this and ask what bar, and he said the right one. His story seemed to be checking out, but I asked him why he wouldn't show me his face and why he was whispering. He said it's too dark in the room and that Casey was sleeping and he didn't want to wake her up. The first part of that answer made no sense. I told him turn on the light and show me that Casey's okay. There was silence for a second, and then the call ended. I told Connie and Rachel about this, and they were equally concerned. After blowing up Casey's phone some more, the guy answered with an address and said, "We're here, come pick up your friend." The location was some small-looking house 15 minutes away. I told the girls, and by now they left to the outside of the bar so they could talk to me on the phone. They agreed something wasn't right, and that I shouldn't go to that address. I then remembered I had Casey's mom's number buried deep in my phone, so after finding that, I texted, then called her, and she picked up, explaining Casey was in fact home and had been for half an hour, crying but not explaining what happened. So I FaceTimed Casey's phone one more time, and it answered to the dark room again. I said hello a bunch of times, no response, so I threw out some bait and said I'm on my way. And then the whispering voice replied from somewhere off screen, "Good, don't knock, just come right in." Then I reeled the bait back in and said, "I know you're not with Casey. I'm calling the police on you right now." And then something I didn't expect happened, and it freaked me the hell out. In a split second, the phone was picked up off wherever it was sitting, and all I saw in frame was this ugly, creepy-looking man looking into the camera. He was smiling this insanely wide smile, and his eyes were open as wide as could be. It's as if he was trying to make as scary of a face as possible. I hung up because I couldn't look at it. So Casey was leaving the bar with the guy she was with, and they got into what
I was waiting on that jump scare, boy. Come on, I was ready, dog.
I couldn't look at it. So Casey was leaving the bar with the guy she was with, and they got into what she thought was an Uber, but the driver and the guy she met were acting weird, and she found out that they knew each other somehow. Suspicious it was a trap, she got out of the car the first chance she got, but she didn't have her phone on her anymore. She borrowed some random person's phone to call her mother to pick her up. Casey and her mom called the police, and I met them at the house address that was provided via text. I met them there, but didn't get close to anyone to not get them sick. Casey's phone's last location on Find My iPhone.
Why are you meeting them there? Your friend is not there. Why are you meeting them there? Send the police and that's that. Why are you trying to play Superman so hard? Casey good, she at home. What happened was effed up. Luckily ain't nothing go wrong. But you taunting, bro, and shit. Police already on the way. You letting them know police on the way. About to blow the cover and everything. Goofy. And then you pop up too. You one of them. That weird ass. Like, boy, the police probably like, damn, we got it. Go take your ass home. You can't do nothing. My bad. I had to resync my damn camera. Hold up. I think I got to go back further though.
On Find My iPhone was indeed at that house address. So police knocked on the door and no one answered. There wasn't anything they could do, but they suggested to call 911 again in the morning and knock again then. And that's what they did. And the next morning, an older man answered and claimed he didn't have anyone's phone, nor did any young men live in this house, nor did he know anything about the entire story. Casey says he might have been the driver in the car, but she can't tell for sure. There was not much else that could be done. Casey's phone was off, and the last location was never updated again. Do we know for a fact Casey dodged a bullet? Yes.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Do we know what that bullet was? Hell no.
Man.
One night I was home alone with my brother. It was during a snowstorm in January. My parents were both away. My little brother was in his room doing whatever, while I was playing League of Legends on my computer. I get a knock on my door, and my little brother asks if I can drive him to his friend's house. I agreed to, only because I have a Pathfinder which does well in those snowy and icy conditions. Plus his friend only lives about 5 minutes away. So we left, and I was back within literally 15 minutes. I entered the house as I left it, quiet and empty. I went back to playing League on my computer. I FaceTimed my friend Jay, who was also playing. I would always do this and lean my phone on my monitor so it would be facing me and I could see the screen. This went on for a solid hour or two, before I heard a sound from downstairs, and I assumed my little brother got a ride back. Or hell, I assumed it was maybe our cat. I didn't go down to check though. A few minutes later, when I least expected it, Jay suddenly said, "Mark, I think your brother's sneaking up on you." I turned around but didn't see anyone. "What are you talking about?" I said. And he said he saw him peering around for a second from behind the wall. Now, to explain the layout of my room a bit, my bedroom is a loft, and there's a dividing wall that separates the stairway from the rest of the room. That wall was where Jay was claiming to have seen my brother peeking at me. So I called my brother's name, and he didn't answer. I went over to check the stairway, and he wasn't there either. I wasn't sure if Jay was joking around or not at first, so I pressed him, and he kept saying he wasn't lying. So I left my room to check the rest of the upstairs. I checked my little brother's room first. His lights were out and his door was shut, so maybe he wasn't home. I checked my parents' room, and then the spare bedroom, also nothing. Plus, the front door to the house was still shut and locked. So at that moment, I was thinking Jay was trying to scare me, or he just was seeing things. Then I realized our cat Sunshine wasn't anywhere to be seen, and maybe she was the one who made the noise. I went down to the den and found her hiding in the corner behind one of the couches. That was odd behavior for her, and it made me more paranoid. Then I heard something. And you know when you're in a dead silent room with someone else, you can just hear their movements.
Man,
like the slightest thing even, just the sound of the cloth of their clothes rubbing on something. I heard that slightest bit of sound from behind the sectional couch in the corner of the room. I stood up and got just one step closer, and I heard a slight exhale. It was quiet, but audible enough for me to hear it. I didn't run. I walked upstairs to the kitchen, grabbed the phone, went to my room, locked the door, and called 911. Jay was still...
It might have been smarter to play it off because he might be strapped. Just shoot your stupid ass. But, because if it's in the dark, only thing I'm thinking is, bro, I'm about to attack you, catch you off guard before you catch me off guard. But yeah, it'd have been smarter to just play it off, go upstairs, bro.
Grabbed the phone, went to my room, locked the door, and called 911. Jay was still on the FaceTime. I kept him on and let him listen to my call with 911.
See, it sounded like bro high, like he don't want to know you there. Real quick, I'd have played it off like, man, bro, that's just my damn cat. Hold on, let me grab my damn charger real quick, bro. But as I'm saying, I'm grabbing the keys, going to the car. Out that bitch. Low key though, what it sound like so far, it sound like somebody was watching you leave, and then it was about to rob you, but you came back too quick. Like you said, you got back fast.
Kitchen, grabbed the phone, went to my room, locked the door, and called 911. Jay was still on the FaceTime. I kept him on and let him listen to my call with 911. The police arrived very quickly, and I opened the front door for them. "Where are they?" the first thing they asked at the front door, and I told them downstairs in the den. The police started shouting, making their presence known, and I didn't see it happen, but they found the intruder with his hands up behind the couch in the same spot I heard him. It was a white male in his mid-20s. He had a large blade in his pocket that God only knows what he was planning on doing with. Thank God he didn't hurt our cat while he was down there. Sunshine hiding all scared like that also may have made me stop and listen for that 5 seconds that I did. Being on FaceTime with Jay like that also probably saved my life. I think the guy saw or just heard me on FaceTime with my friend and didn't want to witness to anything. Him hiding in the den like that instead of leaving makes me think he was planning on waiting until everyone in the house was asleep. This was my fault for not locking the door when I dropped my brother off, which I used to do because we live in a cliche safe neighborhood, but no one's ever really safe. My family was all appalled, but proud of me for
really
how
this shit can't happen in the burbs, boy. This shit can happen anywhere.
But no one's ever really safe. My family was all appalled, but proud of me for how I handled the situation. The intruder's name was Richard Taylor, and he was sentenced to 7 years in prison.
Man. Bro, you looking at... Now, this last story, I want to talk about this a little bit. You already know I got to let you know my life experiences when it comes to these videos, man. That's what I'm here for. To share my knowledge, my wisdom. Hey, for my age, I got some stories, no cap, but I don't know. I just love chilling, talking stories with people, man. True stories. Some people would just be lying. And I ain't gonna lie. When you be sitting there listening to lies, sometimes they be sounding good. I be enjoying them. I be just sitting there listening. I just be keep the story going like, well, then what happened? Because sometimes it just be interesting. Like, boy, get this bullshit out my face. Pete, but either way it go. Look, all right. So my boy living in Flint, no names, whatever. I think at the time he lived in an apartment. He just got this big ass TV, hella dope. It was like early, I want to say like in the early 2010 range, whatever. So he was like, man, I think I know what happened to this mall, how my spot got broken in. And the reason why this story number 3 made me think of that is because when he was like, bro, was high and whatever, like he didn't want to be there. I think the knife was just a case of ish went down, but I think he broke in and robbed you because, like you said, you went to drop bro off, but you came back quick. You're trying to get back to the game. I'm a gamer. I know that works. You got to get back. So you got back too quick. So he broke in. Damn. You come through, boom. So he high and whatever. Same thing happened with my partner. He said he dropped his girl off. He dropped his girl off at work around the same time every morning, or was it school? I forgot, whatever. Drop her off around the same time every morning, and he come back at the same time. He's like, bro, within 10 minutes came back, and he was cleaned out. That TV was gone. I think it was the PS3 at the time, whatever, gone. Like, all this shit gone, whatever. And he's like, man, I think I know who did it. I ain't gonna say no names. We just be talking some shit here. That's it, with no names, though. And he was like, bro, that quick, that had to be somebody that knew. Like, they was watching. Like, yeah. All right, boom, he out the house. Boom, get in there, do what I gotta do. Get out, whatever. That's what it sounded like on this story right here. Somebody was watching. You left, boom. They got up in that mug. You came back, man. And I'm telling you, dog, that's how it be when people be watching it. Hey, like I said, life experience, you ain't gotta judge me. I've been around people who, before they do it, you can just see them studying the target. Like, boom, see you do this, see you do that, see you do this. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. Like I said, hey, you can be mad all you want. I don't care. Life experience, like I said. When we did our first one, I ain't getting nothing. I'm a teenager. When we did our first one, man, we was watching this lady's house. Boom, 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 whatever she was doing. Wasn't even smart about it though. Bro, we got ready. Bro, we got ready to break this blood. Look, I boost my partner up. I ain't gonna say the names. I boost my partner up through the window. Boom, he go in the window. Have my other partner ready to boost me up, right? He got my feet like this, boost me in the window. As he boosts me in the window, my other partner running, jumping back. I think I told you the story. Running and jumping back out the window. So I'm falling out the window like, damn. No, you just want to say, hey. But this is why I be saying, when it's like that happen, I'd be glad to see when people, if you make it out that situation and you live to grow and change, I'd be glad to see it, because I cannot excuse myself from these situations. When shit like this be happening to this day now, your age don't really be playing a factor to me. I don't be giving a damn, dog. I'm like, yo, whatever happened if you break into somebody's house, dog, what happened is what gonna happen. That shit could have happened to me. And I can't say, oh, yeah, you can't shoot me because I'm a kid. No, because I was that same ignorant kid doing that stupid shit. Me and my friends, if we would have got popped, if she was just been one of those, or we broke into the wrong house, that's what would have happened. Hey, I know it's me, but I can't be a hypocrite like that. I can't do it. Because, like I said, I lived, I learned, and I grew. I feel like I grew so much, especially mentally. I feel like I grew so much, though. This shit was like tacky as fuck living this way. When I be seeing these stories, dog, I be just watching these like youngins do this type of shit, and I be like, damn, I'd have popped your motherfucking ass. But at the same time, it's like, I'm hoping you live to learn and change that shit. But a lot of the times, though, dog, a lot of them just get worse and worse and worse, man. I'm telling you, I seen it. It's a lot of my partners. Luckily, the people in this story, me and my other two friends, man, when I say change in so many good ways, like both of these dudes, I ain't gonna say their names, both of them doing so good. Both of them no longer live like that, bro. You know, it's funny. Nope, never mind. Flint small, dog. I ain't gonna say no names. But either way it go, dog. Look, only thing I'm saying is this, dog. That sounds like they was watching you. From experience, that's what it seemed like, bro. Hey, I don't know though, but if you enjoyed the video, go ahead, click that like button. I appreciate it. Enjoy your night, evening, day, whatever. It's 1 o'clock in the damn morning here. I'm actually about to play Overwatch, but I'm out.